Well, I'm very pleased to be joined here today on Primetime Local News with two of the Hunter brothers, JJ and Ty, and we're here to talk about their new album called Been a Minute. Guys, first off, congratulations on the album. And first off, just share with us some of the creative processes that went with this particular album.
Yeah, thanks so much, Connor. This is awesome to be chatting with you today. The last year and a half has been a very different process for the music industry as a whole. That's an understatement. I think the classic word of 2020 was pivot. And so everybody was just trying to figure out how we were going to do things moving forward. And we actually have an old mechanic shop that we're sitting in right now that we converted into a rehearsal space and a studio. And we were going to do a lot of those things anyway, but I think the process was just expedited when we realized we were going to need to be recording things remotely. And so JJ here has always been fascinated with engineering. And so he really grabbed hold of the reins on that and learned how to do a lot of the mediation between us recording the vocals in the studio and our producers chiming in from Nashville, LA, all over. And so the whole album was actually, with the exception of a few vocals, recorded vocally in this studio, which we've never done before. And typically we've gone and done vocals over, a week or two time frame for a record, but this one, it was over the course of 15 months. And so I'd say it was a lot more specific of a process. And so we actually worked with more producers than we ever have too, which was interesting. It was one of the most collaborative projects, but we just weren't in the same room as them. So let's say it was definitely a labor of love. And I think the album as a whole really speaks to reflecting on the last year and a half, the circumstances, but also looking towards the future and focusing on how we can be positive moving forward.
Now, the last album, of course, was such a huge hit. What was key for the group to try to top that last album's success?
Yeah, it's that's the challenge of an artist, I think, all the time, is how do we maintain who we are and the sound that people have connected with, but yet be progressive in the artistic side of it, and who we want to be and what we want to say. And that is a challenge, and we talk about it often. For us, there's some key components. We're all brothers. Harmonies are a key factor. Our live show is a key factor. And so we're taking in so many different avenues. How's this song going to work live for us? How's this song going to work as far as singing harmonies? And all these things start playing into it. And where do we want to be as a band, and what are our interests? With five guys collectively, there's a lot of different interests in musical genres and just tastes. And so trying to bring a bunch of those differences into one. We've got some guys that really kind of lean into country music, some guys that really lean into pop music, some guys that lean into dance music. And so we're trying to collaborate and use all of those interests for our strength without departing from, the country crowd, country radio, the festivals that we're playing. And so that's a process that we're continually discussing. We talk about it with the writers before we start writing a song. And then it's a constant process. As we're recording, we're like, okay, do we need to push this song more, or should we pull the reins back? And so all those factors play into it all the way, and you just really try your hardest to make that progression happen without losing your roots.
Recently, you guys did release a music video for the song Been a Minute. Talk about the music video itself and just the process of having fun with creating this music video.
Yeah, well, I mean, the last music video, Been a Minute, I think was just really reflective of the last year, given that just certain things that are simple in nature, they hold a lot of meaning, and you don't want to override those moments. You want to just remember that there's lots that you can take for granted. And so in that video, it was driving down like this dirt road that we had driven down so many times as kids growing up. It was going and just singing together in random places, like a flat deck trailer, or down at one of our favorite parks that we grew up going to as kids. And so I think, like, moving forward, it's really shifted perspective, knowing that, any concert that you get to perform, anytime that you get to come together, anytime you get to enjoy these simple moments in life, it really is a gift. And so I think that's what the music video represented as a whole. Also, just the fact that we are super excited to get back on stage. Our first live show in 17 months is happening this upcoming weekend. And so I think the music video also just represented that there's no people we were playing to, but we were just excited to play and perform a show. And now we're looking forward and anticipating the excitement of what that looks like once again as we gather.
And like you said, you do have a show this upcoming weekend at the Calgary Stampede. You got Medicine Hat on July 31st. And then August 7th, you guys are going to be in the Lloydminster area in the Paradise Hills Summer Bash. You guys are the headline act there. Are you worried about any rust that you guys might have, since it has been 17 months since you guys did a show?
There's different aspects of it. I know Ty has been dying to perform, just even in rehearsals, you can just see the excitement kind of exuding, flowing out of him, which is awesome. There's always the technical side where you want to do a good job. I mean, when you're headlining a show, there's a lot of responsibility there. We want to do a great job, most importantly for the people that are coming and have put it on the event and whatever. There's also pride on our end and wanting to do a good job. We're representing the label, we're representing the country music scene in general. There's a lot of, there's a lot of pressure that way of upholding our end of what we need to do. And so when we haven't played a live show in 17, 18 months. It's just, we played a lot of hockey, and I always know what it was like after a summer off. It takes quite a few, skating sessions to get back into the flow of things, and then quite a few games in order to feel like you're yourself again. And, there's a little bit of that for sure that, I'm sure it's going to take a couple of shows to really settle in. At the same time, we've been rehearsing hard and we're ready to hit the stage. And, at the same time, I think we're going to feed off the excitement of the people, and we just love the interaction. And so whatever it winds up being like, we're going to do the best job that we can, and we're excited to interact with everybody that's going to be having a great time as well.
Well, JJ and Ty, I really appreciate your guys' time. Thank you very much for joining us. The new album, Been a Minute, is out now by the Hunter Brothers. You can get it wherever you get your music from. Guys, thanks so much, and congratulations again on the album.
Thanks
so much, Connor.